Trying to find the perfect lens for your Sony crop camera could be very intimidating because there's so many to choose from. So that's why in this video, I'll be breaking down some of the best options and talk about the best use cases for these very lenses. And so let's break it down right now.
You gotta just press record.
Hey, what's up? It's Omar Takori with Think Media. Now, I'll be sure to post links down to everything in the description below, but be sure to check out some of the used deals on Amazon because Amazon does warranty them and you could save some money. Turn up. The first series of lenses I'm gonna be talking about are going to be prime lenses, meaning they don't have the ability to zoom in and out, so they're not that versatile in nature, but because they are prime lenses, they are very fast and they're gonna give you very nice blurry backgrounds, which is what people want. But the first one I wanna talk about is the Sigma 16mm 1.4 lens. This lens comes in at $390, but the focal length and aperture of this lens is kind of perfect for YouTube talking head videos, live streams. I wouldn't say vlogging, it's a little bit tight for that, but this lens is gonna be equated to about a 24mm lens on a full frame camera, which is gonna give you just that nice medium wide shot. And so if you're about arm's length distance or you're using your Sony as a webcam, the Sigma 16mm lens is the best option in my opinion. Now, if you need even more of a wider image, then I would encourage you to look at the Sony 11mm 1.8 lens. This lens comes in at $548. It's a fairly new lens that Sony has added to their offerings when it comes to their crop censored cameras, but 11mm is gonna give you a super wide look, which is great primarily for vlogs because at 11mm, you're gonna have so much room to play with, and with a mic on top of your camera, you're gonna capture really good audio because you're gonna have the tendency to bring the camera closer because it's so wide, but people want that look when you're vlogging, and the 1.8 is gonna be great for low light performance as well as a blurry background. And 11mm is also great because it's wide enough that if you add any stabilization features like active steady shot, there's gonna be an additional crop, but at 11mm, even then, it's still gonna be a super wide shot. Another notable mention when it comes to a wide lens is the Viltrox 13mm lens, and that has a 1.4 aperture and it comes in at $449. And this lens has incredible build quality. It's like all metal. I've been able to use this lens on my Nikon camera, and what I could say about it is it's nice because it's not as medium wide as the Sigma 16, but it gives you just a little bit more, but not being too much when it comes to distortion on the side. So if you are fairly closer to your camera or you don't really want as wide of a shot as the Sony 11mm, then I would consider looking into that Viltrox 13mm lens. Still in prime lens world, Viltrox also has a 23mm lens that is at 1.4, and this lens comes in at $280 at the time of shooting this video, and a 24mm on a Sony crop camera is essentially gonna give you a 35mm equivalent, which is a focal length that you may want to achieve. And this price point for a lens this fast is really great. Also has autofocus capabilities. And I also forget to mention that the Viltrox lenses also have this ability to change your aperture on the lens itself, but definitely a great all-around lens. The next lens is the lens I'm actually using to get this very shot right now, and that is the Sigma 30mm 1.4 lens. This lens comes in at $300 at the time of shooting this video, and a lens like this is gonna give you about a 45mm equivalent. So it's almost like a 50mm. Personally, I like the compression for videos like this. It's great for talking head videos. If you want a little bit more compression, then maybe you should look at the Sigma 56mm 1.4 lens, which is gonna give you almost an 85mm equivalent. This lens comes in at $370. Personally, I like using this lens for my side angles for my video podcast setup here in the studio. It's a perfect compression for something like that. 1.4 on the 56 makes the background really fall off. So that covers a lot of the prime lenses that are offered for Sony crop cameras. Although if you're looking for versatility and the ability to zoom in and out, really the best lens for that, I think, is the Sigma 18-50 2.8 lens. This lens comes in at $549 at the time of shooting this video. And this lens is awesome. It is so lightweight, so compact. So you having a versatility of a fairly medium wide shot when all the way zoomed out to a super compressed shot when zoomed all the way in is awesome. And I think a lot of people can have a lens like this in their kit if they really need that versatility. The other two lenses I wanna break down are kind of for vlogging and you want some ability to zoom in and out. The first lens I would recommend is the Sony 10-18 f4 lens. That comes in at about $600. This lens is kind of old, so you can get a really good deal on it if you just check the use section. But this lens is awesome because not only is it super wide, but if you flip around your camera and you need to zoom in a little, having that flexibility to go up to 18 is pretty sweet. And probably the best thing about this lens is that it has optical steady shot, which just means that there's technology inside of the lens that makes it a little bit more smooth from jitters that come from you holding the camera. And if you pair a lens that has optical steady shot with a camera that has stabilization built in, you're gonna get some really smooth footage if you are doing things like vlogs. But you know how I said that 10-18 is kind of an older lens? Well, Sony recently dropped a newer version of it. That is their 10 to 20 millimeter f4 lens. And this doesn't have optical steady shot, but it is a little bit more of a pro build and it is newer. And this lens comes in at $633 at the time of shooting this video. But both of these lenses really were made for people who are gonna be vlogging with their Sony crop censored cameras. But I hope you got value in this video. Be sure to check out those links down in the description below. And if you wanna check out another video from us here at Think Media, just click or tap the screen. Can't wait to see you in a future video. Peace.